Good evening, everyone. Great to see you all, and welcome to the 54th Annual Madison Sports Hall of Fame Banquet. Now, for over a half century, recognizing the great athletes and achievements of our great city. Tonight, we will highlight some of the great stories of the past year and welcome 4 new members into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame. We'd like to start by welcoming our guests at the head table. We ask you to hold your applause until the entire head table is introduced. To my left, your right, Pete Waite, the president-elect of the Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club. Edgewood College's Friend of Sport winner, Carol Marshall. iHeartMedia sports director and the voice of Badger men's hockey, Brian Posick. Should he be watching a hockey game right now? Well, give it time. Dang Dang, Zimbrick Honda's Madison Sportsman of the Year. Mike Jocks, sports director at WMTV NBC 15. Paula Wilkins, our Neckerman Insurance Madison Sportswoman of the Year. Mike Heller, iHeartMedia sportscaster, Big 1070 Radio. Angie Murphy, our Flad Development and Investments Area Sportsperson of the Year. Dennis Semrau, sports writer for ESPN Madison. Paul Eckerly, Madison Area Sport Commission's Pat Richter Favorite Sibling Award winner. And Jason Verhelst, Madison College Assistant Athletic Director. Welcome. And now we welcome the class of 2016, the Madison Sports Hall of Fame inductees. Mark Barrand. You sit at the big kids' table tonight. It's good. Tyrone Braxton. Karen O'Malley Crowley. Dennis Tiziani. Ladies and gentlemen, your distinguished inductees for the evening. Now for tonight's invocation from Faith Community Baptist Church, please welcome Pastor David Smith.
Good evening. Good evening. All right, all right. Now, you know, it's not supposed to get quiet at the prayer time. Yeah. Let us bow, let us pray. Gracious God, we come before you tonight as we celebrate these individuals who have done remarkable and incredible feats in their lives. We thank you for blessing them with the health and strength to be here, for their families and loved ones and friends that have come to show their support. We thank you for what they have accomplished and all the lives that they have touched. Now tonight, we celebrate not just what they have accomplished and the laurels and all the awards, but the passion that they did it with. We acknowledge that, and we thank you for giving them the strength to accomplish those tasks. Now tonight, we ask that you will bless the food we're going to receive, bless it, sanctify it for the nourishment of our bodies, and bless everything that we do here tonight. And we love you, and we thank you, and we love them, and we pray for them, that they will continue on with health and strength. Amen.
And enjoy your dinner. Thank you. good, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like all the past Hall of Fame inductees to gather on this side of the stage, which is to your left, my right. And we'd like the Special Achievement Award winners, our 6 Special Achievement Award winners, to gather to the other side of the stage. Fred McCormick will be lining up the Special Achievement recipients over here. Otto Pauls and Peg Mueller will round up the past Hall of Fame inductees over here. So if you could take your positions, we appreciate it. Thank you. And right now, we'd like to welcome to the podium the president-elect of the Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club and a Hall of Fame member himself, Pete Waite.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our annual induction banquet. Welcome new inductees, past inductees, and special award winners. It's an exciting night to be able to honor the people who have made a major impact on the Madison sports scene. Please help me thanking our sponsors for their generous support. Sponsor tables, please stand as I call your name alphabetically. Edgewood College. Where is Edgewood College? Oh, can you stand up, please? Thank you very much. Flad Developments and Investments. Thank you. Madison Area Sports Commission. Over here, thank you. Our newest sponsor, Neckerman Insurance Services. Neckerman. And one Neckerman over there. Strand Associates. Where is Strand? Right in the middle, thank you. And thanks for sponsoring our induction enshrinement. And finally, Zimbrick Honda. Where is Zimbrick Honda? Right there. Thank you all. Let's give them all another hand for all our sponsors. It was excellent. Thank you very much. I'd also like to invite everybody in attendance to join the Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club for our Tuesday lunches. We meet over at the Elks Club. You don't have to be an inductee to be a member. You just have to enjoy sports. We have a lot of sports-themed speakers. A lot of them are here tonight. And to join the club, all you have to do is grab one of the forms on your tables, turn that in, go on our website or our Facebook page. And you can join the club. It's a great time. We have some great speakers. Every Tuesday, lunches at the Elks Club. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, WISC TV Sports Director, Jay Wilson.
Thank you. First thing I got to do is take a picture because my boss says I've got to tweet. Mar Shapiro is looking down and laughing right now. I never had to do that. Okay, thanks. That'll be up in a few minutes. Thanks, Pete, and good evening again, everyone. One of the special segments of our evening is to welcome back the Hall of Fame inductees of the past who are with us this evening, and we ask everyone to hold their applause until the end of these introductions. So here they are, some of the great names in Madison sports history. Inducted in 2015, Madison East multi-sport athlete Tim Healy. And he just made the sprint over, also in the 2015 class, UW volleyball coach Pete Waite. Class of 2014, UW wrestling coach Dwayne Clevin. Class of 2014, UW and Madison East football player Bill Mo Maselter. Also class of 2014, Western Michigan and Madison Central basketball player Larry Pedricine. Class of 2013, Steve Amundsen, Madison La Follette multi-sport athlete and Western Michigan basketball player. Class of 2012, national and Olympic curler and curling coach Steve Brown. Also from the class of 2012, UW and Madison West cross country and track athlete Ellen Olson Wormuth. Class of 2011, UW baseball and hockey player Rob Andringa. Class of 2010, Olympic team physician and WIAA tournament physician and medical advisory committee, Conrad Andringa. Class of 2010, UW baseball player and Edgewood High School baseball coach, Greg O'Brien. Class of 2010, Edgewood athlete, sports journalist, and UW administrator, Vince Sweeney. Is it your birthday today, Vince? Today's Vince's birthday. Happy birthday. Class of 2008, UW baseball player, Madison Central and Madison East baseball and football coach, Nabi Kelleher. Class of 2007, Madison bowler, youth and high school baseball coach, Jim Nye. 2006, multi-sport Edgewood High coach, Dorothy Goldsworthy. Class of 2005, UW track and field athlete, Luke Collins. Also class of 2005, Madison Memorial swim coach and athletic director, Gary Colpine. Class of 2003, UW hockey coach, Jeff Sauer. Class of 2002, all-around Madison Central athlete, sports official, and recreational sport administrator and advocate, here's Dave Kelleher. Class of 2002, UW Whitewater men's basketball coach, Dave Vandermeulen. NFL and UW football player, class of 2001, Tim Jordan. Class of 2001, Madison athlete, coach, and school administrator, John Olson. Class of 2000, UW baseball player, three-sport college game official, Otto Pulls. UW and amateur boxer from the class of 1999, Dick Murphy. Class of 1999, UW and Madison East football player, Steve Underwood. Class of 1996, multi-sport Madison West coach, Peg Mueller. Class of 1994, UW and Madison Edgewood baseball and basketball player, Dennis Sweeney. From the class of 1988, UW football player, Gary Messner. And from the class of 1987, Wisconsin and Madison amateur golfer and UW women's golf coach, Jackie Hayes. We also want to mention we lost a couple of our Hall of Fame inductees this year, Glenn Borland from the class of 2008 and Tom Hargraves from the class of 1996. They are certainly in our thoughts and memories here tonight. Again, we welcome you to the 54th Annual Madison Sports Hall of Fame Enshrinement Ceremony. The first class of the Madison Sports Hall of Fame was inducted in 1963. That, of course, was the year the Badger football team with Ron Vanderkellen and Pat Richter played in the Rose Bowl. A lot has changed since then, but some things are still the same. We have a great tradition of exceptional athletes and athletic performances that we get to highlight each year in this event. Tonight, we're going to recognize a number of great sports teams and individuals who have made their mark over the past year. They are the Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club Special Achievement Awards. Club President Pete Waite will present the awards with Otto Poles assisting. Finn Gessner has great hair, doesn't he? You know, it's not often he's standing in the same place. He's usually on the run, not running away from things, but running towards something like championships. Gessner is a cross-country and track star for the Madison La Follette Lancers. Last fall, he won the Big 8 Conference Championship and was the WIAA Division I Individual State Cross-Country Champion. He was third-team All-American and the Wisconsin Gatorade Runner of the Year. This weekend, Gessner is the top seed in the 3,200 meters at the WIAA State Track and Field Meet in La Crosse, and we wish him well in that. Our Special Achievement Award winner, Madison La Follette's Finn Gessner. It's really hard to get through a season undefeated. Oregon High School girls soccer coach Julie Grutzner knows that firsthand, but she also knows the feeling of accomplishment when you achieve an undefeated season. The Panthers went 23-0-1 on their way to the WIAA State Division II Girls Soccer Championship last June, only the 9th girls soccer team in state history to complete an undefeated season. And on top of that, Julie was named the Wisconsin Soccer Coaches Association Coach of the Year. Our Special Achievement Award winner, Oregon girls soccer coach Julie Grutzner. When you talk about Wisconsin Badger women's hockey, you probably know about Jessie Vedder, Hillary Knight, and head coach Mark Johnson. But you really should know the name of Dan Cook, too. He's been an assistant coach and associate head coach for 13 seasons at Wisconsin. He oversees the defense and the penalty killing for the Badger women's hockey team, and you'd have to say he's pretty good at that. Last season, Wisconsin's defense set an NCAA record allowing .72 goals a game with 23 shutouts. The Badgers also led the nation in penalty killing at almost 95%. Congratulations to our Special Achievement Award winner, Dan Cook. Verona's Grace Mueller is one of those special high school athletes that shines as an individual on very successful teams. First, let's talk volleyball. Grace was the captain of the Verona girls volleyball team that made it to the WIAA state semifinals. She was named first team All-Big 8 in volleyball. Then came the basketball season. She led the Wildcats to the school's first girls basketball state championship and was named first team All-State by the Basketball Coaches Association. And the good news is we'll be able to continue to watch Grace play basketball around here. She'll be with the Wisconsin Badgers starting this fall. Congratulations to our Special Achievement Award winner, Verona's Grace Mueller. Verona High School had a heck of an athletic year. Swimmer Beta Nelson had one of the most successful seasons in the history of the sport. Of course, we watched her grow up, winning races and setting records at the All-City Swim Meet, and that's continued in her high school career for the Verona Mount Horeb team. At last November's state swimming and diving meet, Beta won 4 titles, giving her 12 state championships for her career. She holds state records in the 100 butterfly, 100 backstroke, and 200 freestyle relay. And the good news is, she's staying around too. She'll be swimming at the University of Wisconsin. Congratulations to our Special Achievement Award winner, Beta Nelson. Madison Memorial has had a great tradition in boys swimming. The Spartans won their 6th straight and 16th overall state team championship last February, and Justin Temprano added to that legacy. He's won 7 WIAA state championships, including winning the 100 backstroke this season for the 3rd consecutive season. He was also part of the Spartans state champion 200 medley relay and 400-yard freestyle relay. And there's a nice trend going here, too. Justin will also head to the University of Wisconsin to swim for the Badgers. Congratulations to our Special Achievement Award winner, Justin Temprano. We have many other awards to recognize tonight, and let's get to those as well. Now it's time for the presentation of the Madison Area Sports Commission Pat Richter Favorite Sibling Award, and here to present that, Madison College's Assistant Athletic Director for Communications. Here's Jason Verhelst.
Madison, Wisconsin is a tremendous city, known for many things, including its rich athletic tradition that we're celebrating here tonight. Those of us born in Madison never forget our roots, and many times give back by expanding those roots to others. That is exactly what this year's Favorite Sibling Award winner has done. One of the things Madison is known for is their expansive and talented swimming community, which was just recognized by 2 outstanding swimmers up here. The All-City Swim League, 13 teams strong, hosts the 2nd largest swim meet in the entire nation every summer when almost 2,000 swimmers compete in the Madison's All-City Swim Meet. The All-City Swim League is where Paul Eckerly got his start in swimming. Growing up on Camelot Drive, Paul at the age of 8 would make his way to Shorewood Pool every morning to go to swim practice. This practice paid off, as over the next 10 years, Paul earned 15 All-City individual and relay titles, including 8 All-City records. In high school, Paul attended Madison Memorial, lettering all 4 years. Paul earned All-States and All-American honors while claiming state titles in the 200 free and 400 free relays in his senior season. In that senior season, the team captain helped the Spartans not only snap Madison West's 9-year dual meet streak, but also claim the 1986 state title from the Regents. His outstanding high school accolades earned him a swimming scholarship to the University of Wisconsin. Paul once again earned All-American honors, this time for his performance as a member of the UW's 800 free relay team. Additionally, Paul was named Academic All-Big Ten in 3 out of his 4 seasons. Paul was a team captain his senior year and graduated with a math and political science degree. The following year, he enrolled at UW's law school and graduated with a law degree in the spring of 1994. Throughout his high school and college years, Paul gave back to the sport he loved and expanded those roots by coaching at Shorewood Pool, Madison Aquatic Club, Sun Prairie High School, and Edgewood High School. In the fall of 2008, having been out of coaching for 14 years, he was given the opportunity to coach at his alma mater and be part of the tradition of Madison Memorial Swimming and Diving. Since that fall, Paul has done nothing but solidify Madison Memorial as the top high school swim program in the state of Wisconsin. An unbeaten streak of high school dual meets dating back 20 years to January 26, 1996, has been extended to over 160 dual meets and counting, a streak longer than any of the swimmers that Paul currently coaches have been alive. In addition to that jaw-dropping streak, the Spartans have an equally impressive streak of 6 state titles going as well. That's 6 in a row, put Madison Memorial at 16 total state titles this year, eclipsing Waukesha's previous mark of 15 state titles from the late 50s to early 70s. In addition, Madison Memorial teams have the most state event titles, 88, than any other teams in state history. Paul has received the Wisconsin Interscholastic Swim Coaches Association Division I Coach of the Year honor 5 times. Paul has been there and done that as a swimmer. So as a coach, he understands what it takes, said former head coach, sitting right over here, Madison Sports Hall of Famer Gary Copine. I am proud to see the tradition continuing and couldn't be more proud that Paul is the one helping it continue. In addition to coaching, Paul is a partner at a law firm in Monona. Paul and his wife Jana live on Madison's west side, and their son Nathan, with their son Nathan and daughter Claire. So at this time, I'm proud to introduce the 2016 Madison Area Sports Commission Pat Richter Favorite Sibling Award to Paul Eckerly.
The Edgewood College Friend of Sport Award is next. It's great to welcome back iHeartMedia Sports Director and the radio voice of Badger men's hockey. Here's Brian Posick.
Hi, everybody. Good to see Mark and Tyrone and Karen and Dennis with your smiling face. Congratulations. Where did I put my little... Oh, here are my notes. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm wasting time, aren't I, Peg? Yep. Okay. Yeah, there is a hockey game. I'll give you a score here in a moment, okay? If you ever played hockey or baseball or softball or volleyball or football or did any sport in the Madison area, you've probably seen or heard of Carol Marshall. She grew up on the south side, attended Madison Central High School. At the time in high school, girls could only dream of playing varsity sports, but she found a way to play anyway, somehow, and stayed involved, got involved in anything she could. Along with Richard Harris and Boyce Hodge, among others, they founded the Southside Little League in the early 1990s. Carol got uniforms that the West Side didn't want anymore. Also took old Wisconsin Badger unis and cut them down to fit the kids. She also coached baseball. In fact, she coached Tyrone Braxton briefly, from what I understand. And one year, she won a City League title as head coach at Vilas Park with a team called Boogie's Boys. I believe her sons John and Jim were on that team, along with Jeep Christ. Paul Christ actually played baseball for Carol at one point. Carol also coached the Marshall Lettering men's and women's fast-pitch softball teams, coached and sponsored softball and volleyball at St. James Catholic Church until just a few years ago. She volunteered countless hours with the Southside Raiders youth football program. And besides her family, Carol says her greatest pleasure in life was coaching kids. Carol's passion for hockey began on the outside rink at Franklin Park, right by the house that her husband and her lived in or have for some 60 years. John, Jim, Joel, Jeff, Mary, and Michelle, all living in that house. A longtime supporter of Southside youth hockey, the Westmoreland Saints, and now the Polar Caps, Carol helped organize a successful fundraiser in which hockey moms played games. So they raised money while the moms were out there skating. One year, Bob Johnson was the referee of this Moms All-Star game, right, Carol? Badger Bob gave Carol a penalty for too many men on the ice, or too many players on the ice, politically correct. The reason that Bob gave her a too many men or players on the ice penalty, she was pregnant with her son Joel. In the 1960s, along with Sonny Fuller and Fritz Ragatz, among others, Carol helped found the UW Blue Line Club and followed the Badger hockey team religiously. She was also an avid member of the Hockey Booster Club at UW Stevens Point, my alma mater, where her sons Jeff and Joel both played in the early 1990s. She served on the Dane County Hockey Board, was the first woman on the Wisconsin Amateur Hockey Association Board. She's also served on the board for the Madison Blades, Madison Capitals, Madison Majors, and the Southside Sissies, a women's league. Would have loved to have watched that. According to her youngest son, Joel, he claims his mom has watched more hockey games than anyone else in the state. And that would make her the ultimate hockey mom. Back in 1976, Carol bought the old Hutchinsons and turned it into Marshall Lettering. For decades, she mended socks for UW hockey and football players, sewed nameplates on youth jerseys, painted locker rooms, manicured softball and baseball diamonds. I just found out also tonight that she embroidered Steve Brown's curling team's uniforms. She also embroidered the championship banners for Madison Memorial Swimming State Championships as well. Didn't know all this stuff. She did anything and everything that was necessary to help kids play, and get involved in sports. It's my pleasure to present the Edgewood College Friend of Sport Award to a wonderful woman, Carol Marshall. So I could have talked for like several more minutes because her and Peg Mueller have been friends forever and they share Christmas time together and all that stuff, but well, that's for another time. By the way, the Sharks and Penguins scoreless after one. Pittsburgh's outshot San Jose 11-6. Also, the Penguins 0 for 1 on the power play. Jay Wilson, back to you.
I got nothing. That pretty much covers it, I would think. Our next award is the Flad Development and Investments Area Sports Person of the Year. With that, we welcome sports writer for ESPN Madison, Dennis Semrau.
Good evening, everybody, and I'd like to first congrats to our 4 distinguished Hall of Fame inductees. It's my pleasure as a sports writer for over 30 years to document memories, and you 4 have just a tremendous careers, and congratulations, and we look forward to the presentations. I was honored, first of all, to be contacted by the committee to present the Flad Development and Investment Area Sports Person of the Year Award to a very special person because we actually have a lot of history together. I first met Angie Murphy, Angie Hallbley back then, when she was a standout high school basketball player at Middleton High School. Now, she was the ultimate 3-sport athlete, and I'm a firm believer the more sports you can play, the better you are, no matter what your sport is. She was also an outstanding student athlete. Matter of fact, when I started profiling athletes, my prep profile in the Capital Times and State Journal, she was a role model for it. She was a 4.0 student. So obviously, she had a bright career in front of her, and I thought, wow, she'd be a great teacher and a coach. And she's a great teacher and a coach, and we've been fortunate at Middleton High School to have her as a teacher for 17 years there. As Angie Hallbley, she had a memorable high school career in basketball. The Cardinals finished second her senior year in 1993. And at Kansas, she was a 2-time conference honorable mention player, an outstanding 3-point shooter. Also twice named an academic All-American. And if you can do that at the college level, that's an incredible feat. However, the championship that she so sought, and I don't know if I've met a more competitive person. My daughter might stand pretty close to you, Angie. But she never got a championship in high school or in college from a national level, you know, a state title or a national title. However, this past March, as coach of the Verona Wildcats, she got it. She was a championship head coach. Unfortunately, the tournament was up in Green Bay, so not a lot of us could get up there, unfortunately. But she's taught, like I said, mathematics at Middleton, and understand starting this fall she'll be at Verona. It's been a little difficult, can you imagine, coaching one school in the Big 8 and teaching at another one, so she's gotten a little bit of ribbing over the years, and she's handled it very well. But as head coach, her shining moment was this season for a number of reasons, but in the title game, Wildcats were down by 8. I don't know how many of you saw the game. In the first half, the other coach didn't like her zone defense and decided to pull it out and play chicken. Angie didn't back down. They had the momentum. By the time it was done, Verona believed they could win a state championship, and they went on to do it. They rallied to defeat McWanago 52-46 in the title game, giving the Wildcats their first state title and their first appearance in the championship contest. Verona's other appearances were with Angie as head coach. They also claimed the gold ball while playing in honor of her late teammate, Ebony Nettles Bay, whose dream had been to get a title. This is where it gets a little emotional. Senior guard Cheyenne Trilling, wearing the number 10 uniform in honor of Nettles Bay, who lost her 2-year battle with cancer in November, and Alex Luring sank 3-pointers to give Verona a 42-40 lead. Then I knew they had a shot and they were going to pull it out. And they did. As a high school player, Angie was part of history. How many of you remember 1993 at the Fieldhouse? We had our first ever state girls basketball tournament was a sellout. That was back when they did Division 4 and 3 in the afternoon, 2 and 1 at night. Wanakee was there in Division 2, and Middleton with Janesville Parker was there in Division 1. I was there as a reporter for the Capital Times. I didn't have to write the next day. I had a chance to savor that moment. Well, Angie said Verona's win over McWanago was even more exhilarating. If you're a player and you get to be a coach, there's nothing better than to have kids you coach try to achieve something that you did or you weren't able to do as a player. And she said it was a feeling like none other, her best sports memory of her life. Off the court, like I mentioned, the program's had to cope with a few problems. They lost 2 players who passed away, as well as the husband of an assistant coach. Cheyenne, who I mentioned, had 2 ACL surgeries. I think Angie lost her point guard to ACL at least 3 or 4 times in her coaching career. But she said she had just enjoyed watching her players develop, do it the right way, and to buy in. And she said to the future, when you look back, no one remembers how many minutes you played or who scores all the points. A lesson to all the parents out there that forget it's about team and about just the experience of being together and creating a family. Anyone who's played sports know you have 2 families, your family at home and your family on the court, on the field, or wherever it is. They're the ones for a lot of kids that might not have a family. That's a family that's really important, and Angie really fostered that on the court. Through it all, she was a rock, and pulling the team together, they had a tremendous season and won a title. She said she'd like to thank her husband, Brian, assistant coaches, Randy Blaisdell, Abby Penn, and Megan Clark, and her amazing players. One of them, Grace, was honored tonight. It's my honor and pleasure to present the Flad Development and Investment Area Sports Person of the Year Award to Verona coach Angie Murphy.
The Neckerman Insurance Madison Sportswoman of the Year Award is next. And with that, we welcome iHeart Media sportscaster and the host of the Mike Heller Show on the Big 1070. Here's Mike Heller.
Thanks, Jay. This morning I had a chance to go up and speak to a middle school in Menasha, which isn't relevant here with this exception. Part of what I talked about are teachers and coaches that make a difference. We're in a room filled with great athletic accomplishments individually, but those individual athletic accomplishments came from a team, and there is a leader of every team, and that teacher, that coach, makes the biggest difference in our lives. And I talked this morning about this, that the people that I remember the most are my best teachers, Mr. O'Grady in 5th grade, Mr. Saladino in high school, and my coaches. Bill McGinnis when I played JV baseball in Appleton, and Russ Tiedemann when I played college baseball at UW Oshkosh. Coaches are measured by numbers, but when we all grow older, we don't measure our coaches by numbers anymore. We measure them by the influence they have on our lives. So when we get a chance to say thank you and to honor a coach, I think it's important to understand their lifelong impact on our lives. Paula Wilkins is measured by numbers because they're outstanding. They were outstanding at Penn State where she was a head coach. She won a Big Ten title every year that she was at Penn State. She has been in 6 NCAA tournaments at Penn State alone, and when she came to Wisconsin in 2007, helped to build what this program is. The numbers define who she is as a coach. Her influence and impact on her players define who she is as a person. One of the most accomplished college soccer coaches in the country, completed her 9th season as head coach at Wisconsin this past year. With a pair of College Cup semifinal appearances and 10 NCAA tournament berths overall, among Big Ten women's college soccer coaches with 10 or more years of experience, Wilkins is the all-time leader in win percentage at 706. She ranks 3rd in the Big Ten history for career coaching wins with 217. Wilkins also ranks 2nd all-time in Big Ten history with 7 Big Ten titles. And that doesn't even include her 3 Big Ten tournament titles. In 2015, this last year, despite starting 3-4-2 overall, Wilkins rallied the Badgers to a 9-game unbeaten streak. That remarkable run culminated with a 1-0 victory at Maryland on October the 24th, which clinched UW a share of the Big Ten regular season title, the program's first since 1994. Wilkins was named the Big Ten Coach of the Year for a 6th time in her career. Numbers define head coaches. Their legacy stands alone with their impact to the players that they coached. Our Neckerman Insurance Madison Sportswoman of the Year, I'm honored to introduce Paula Wilkins.
Next up, the Zimbrick Honda Madison Sportsman of the Year Award. To present that is the sports director at NBC 15, WMTV. Here's Jocko, Mike Jocks.
Thank you, Jay. I gave you a long list of things I wanted you to say about me, but we narrowed it down. We have to wrap up. So, first of all, I want you to bear with me. I'm a kind of a quiet and shy kind of guy, so please. I'm not used to this public speaking thing, but such an honor to be here. I've been back at NBC 15 for 6 months to this day, and I am blessed beyond belief to be back here in Madison. And what an honor it is to present the Zimbrick Honda Madison Sportsman of the Year. When I came back to NBC 15, I wanted to create a show much like our Friday night football show on Friday nights, obviously. So we created Friday Night Nets for the winter sports. And on our very first show, I'll never forget, I got my shot sheet, and I saw a name I will never forget. From Madison East basketball, I saw 2 words, dang, dang. And I said to myself, that is awesome, awesome. But dang, dang is so much more than a great name. The graduating senior averaged almost 19 points, which is close to 20 in my book, dang, dang, just like we talked about. 4 rebounds and 3 assists a game in his last year as a per-golder. Impressive, right? Right. But there's more people. There is so much more. Double D, I got to read this. Double D was named Big 8 Conference Player of the Year, a first-team selection in Division I on the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association All-State Team, and second-team choice for the Associated Press All-State Team. And, of course, we know the Associated Press doesn't know anything, which includes all divisions. He was also named the Wisconsin State Journal and WisconsinPrepZone.com All-Area Boys Basketball Player of the Year for the 2015-2016 season. And he isn't done playing basketball. Dang will be playing at Highland Community College in Illinois next year. While all of that is great, I think the most awesome thing about Dang is his sense of community. He absolutely has a passion and a love for the east side of Madison. He loves his family, and most of all, he loves being a role model for kids. And I think he's done a very good job at that so far. Like I said, Dang Dang is awesome, awesome. He is also the winner of the Zimbrick Honda Madison Sportsman of the Year. Congratulations, Dang Dang. We actually worked on the hug, so we're all good.
I'm up here watching Jocko. He's got the whitest teeth of anybody I know. You watch tonight in HD. Awesome. Awesome, awesome is what it is. Now we've come to the highlight of the evening, the induction of the 2016 class into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame. Our 4 new members took very different and diverse paths to get here, through hockey, football, basketball, volleyball, softball, and golf. They've played, they've coached, they've contributed to the community in more ways than that. We'll hear their Hall of Fame stories, see the different hairstyles they've had through the years, and you'll see why their careers are, in fact, Hall of Fame careers. We ask our inductees, as their name is called, to please stand, then be seated again as your video presentation begins. At the end of the video presentation, Pete Wade and Otto Pulls will present our inductees with their brand new Hall of Fame plaques. And now, the class of 2016, the 54th edition of the Madison Sports Hall of Fame. Tonight's first inductee, Mark Barron.
In the early 1980s, the Madison Pen and Mike Club recognized our first inductee for his athletic accomplishments by presenting him several Special Achievement Awards, as well as honoring him as the 1983 Sportsman of the Year. Today, the Madison Sports Hall of Fame is recognizing his overall career achievements and longtime ties to the community. Mark, the only child of high school sweethearts Philip and Judith Barron, was born in January 1961 on Madison's east side. He always seemed to have an interest in athletics, probably due to his father's involvement with sport. As a youngster, Barron played and loved the usual games of the neighborhood boys: baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. He lived and breathed athletics either in pickup games or organized leagues for the sport that was in season. His hockey passion began on the flooded park rink near his Worth Court home. After walking on the sidewalk to the park and making sparks with his figure skates, Mark, who had no concept of hockey, loved to play a sliding game with a tree branch and an ice chunk. Things changed quickly, however, when Harley Spildy said to his dad, "Why don't you sign the kid up for East Side hockey, but make sure that he doesn't play goalie?" Even though buying hockey equipment was a financial shock to the family, Mark began playing. Advice about not playing goalie fell on deaf ears because, as Barron admits, I was never a good listener. During the summers, Mark began to hone his goalie and skating skills, attending the clinics led by Bob Johnson, Badger head coach, and Bill Howard, Badger goalie coach, and Jeff Sauer, a future Badger head coach. His youth team traveled to many tournaments, even to Toronto, Canada for a tournament. When a Canadian coach asked his parents to let him live there and play for the Ontario team, Barron's confidence was boosted and he began to think that he could be a good goalie. But at La Follette High School, he was a multi-sport athlete, playing baseball, football, golf, as well as hockey. Coaches Tom Kanaki, Dave Moss, Ted Obler, and athletic director Paul Swanson had a positive influence on him both as a player and as a person. Mark, as a senior, was an all-city and all-conference defensive end in football. His father at Madison Central and his grandfather at Wisconsin High were also standout football players. Honored as an all-city and all-conference goalie, too, his development in the sport was only just beginning. Johnson and Howard recruited Mark for Badger hockey, but his eventual stardom was not evident early on. Badger and Olympic trainer Dennis Hellwig said prior to the 1984 Sarajevo Winter Olympics, "I don't think that people realize how far this guy has come. People don't know that this guy was the second string goalie for the JVs for 1.5 years, who almost quits but gets a chance to play because of injuries." He goes on to lead the Badgers to the 1981 National Championship and be named the tournament's most valuable player. Mark was encouraged by Grant Stanbrook, Badger assistant coach, and gave him many insights into the game of hockey during this period. During the next 2 years, the Badgers were 1982 national runner-up and WCHA champions, with Barron being named second team all-conference, and in 1983 with Jeff Sauer as head coach, they were national champions. Mark again was named the tournament MVP. He still holds the UW career record for best season win percentage at 92% and career win percentage at 84%. Mark is fourth in save percentage at 92% and in goals against average at 2.23. Bill Howard said at the time that he is the best that's played at Wisconsin. There's never been anyone better at this school, certainly not in the big games. The UW has recognized him for these accomplishments by inducting him into the school's Hockey Hall of Fame in 1989 and into the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame in 2006. Prior to joining the NHL's Winnipeg Jets, who drafted him in the 5th round, Mark played for the 1984 Olympic team. Again, he was the backup goalie in the games prior to the Olympics until a crucial series with the Soviet select team. Barron's excellent performance in these games and his 22-7-2 record and a 3.12 goals against average won Mark the starting job. As a team, there was much pressure to follow the 1980 Miracle on Ice team. Barron looked at it differently. He said, "The Olympics is about competing against the best athletes in the world and giving your best." Without the energy provided by an enthusiastic Lake Placid crowd, the team finished 7th in the tournament. Now Mark moved on to fulfill his dream of becoming an NHL goalie. As usual, he began as a backup. He spent 3 seasons splitting time between the Jets and the American Hockey League team, the Sherbrooke Canadians. Overall, Barron played 46 games in the NHL, recording a save percentage of 84% and a goals against average of 4.82. He played 61 games in the AHL with a goal against average of 3.67. Feeling that his professional hockey career was stagnating and the game wasn't fun anymore, Mark decided to return to his hometown and get on with the rest of his life. For him, the transition from repelling pucks to fighting fires did not seem to be too difficult. As he stated, "I always had it in the back of my mind that when this comes to an end, wouldn't it be great to follow in my father's footsteps?" In 1967, his grandfather, Phil Sr., when he retired, brought Mark down to the fire station to make a last-ditch effort to convince his grandson to be a 6th-generation fireman from the Barron family. This lineage dates all the way back to 1867, when Mark's 3rd great-grandfather joined the volunteer force, eventually becoming chief of the engine company. So in 1989, he joined the Madison Fire Department to fulfill another life goal. Mark is especially pleased to be inducted into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame with today's honorees, as well as into such a prestigious group of former inductees, some who were his athletic mentors. Father Phil, who is in the audience, played an instrumental role in his sports career, and Mother Judy, watching from above, was his biggest and most faithful fan. Mark would like to acknowledge his children, Eric and Krista, who he enjoys spending time with when he is not playing his guitar or listening to music. The Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club and Strand Associates Incorporated are honored to welcome Mark Barron into the class of 2016.
And please welcome into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame, Mark Barron. Our next inductee, Tyrone Braxton.
Beyond the scores and statistics, sports are full of stories about athletes who overcame obstacles and defied the odds to achieve success. Fans enjoy cheering for the underdog who, through hard work and perseverance, wins because we identify with that athlete or team. Bronco Planet, a Denver Bronco website, tells us that Tyrone Braxton fits that mold to a T as a legendary player who was told that he was too short, too light, and too slow to compete on the football field. Barriers to achievement are not just physical, though, as success can also be stymied because of one's social-economic circumstances. Growing up on Madison's South Side in the mid-1960s, Tyrone found the neighborhood lifestyle challenging. He has said that he grew up where people were selling drugs, doing drugs, breaking into houses, and not getting up and going to work every day. What you see is what you learn and what you do as a child. Luckily, Tyrone had his mother, Beatrice Chapman, as his initial role model. As a single parent, she raised him and siblings Amici, Charlene, Demetra, and Don, while working 2 jobs to support the family. The value of hard work and the importance of family were emphasized. Exposure to athletics also gave Tyrone an early taste of success. At Longfellow Elementary in gym class, he fondly remembers playing volleyball against the whole class and winning the match. He watched his first football game, the 1972 Super Bowl, and the undefeated Miami Dolphins with his stepfather. Tyrone believes that is when he became hooked on football. His participation in organized sports began as one of only 3 sixth graders playing for the renowned Southside Raiders and coach Will Boyd Smith, an early mentor. His emphasis on commitment to practice, a strong work ethic, and to teamwork affected Tyrone greatly. Will would always say, "Don't let anyone outwork you." Braxton bought into his coach's philosophy, working very hard on and off the field to be the best athlete he could be. At Madison Memorial, Tyrone struggled early on with issues that threatened to derail his athletic career. But another mentor refocused him. He credits head football coach Wally Shesso with guiding him back to the right path. As a senior, Braxton was first-team All-City and All-Conference as a defensive back in football, first-team All-City as a guard in basketball, and city outdoor long jump and triple jump champion. Coach Shesso also stressed the importance of higher education and how athletic participation helped individuals go on to college. Tyrone thanks Wally for helping many generations of high school athletes like him who otherwise would not go to college and get a degree. Because of the coach's guidance, he wanted to help other people and make their lives better. Braxton went to North Dakota State to study physical education and play football and run track. As a 2-year starter for the Bisons, he played on 3 Division II NCAA championship teams and 1 national runner-up club. In the 1985 game, he ran back the opening kickoff for a 73-yard touchdown. And in 1986, he sealed the game with an 84-yard punt return for a touchdown. His senior year, Tyrone earned recognition as a first-team North Central Conference cornerback. Searching the Bison record books, his name appears near the top on numerous defensive, kickoff, and punt return categories. And he still has the best career kickoff return average. Braxton was a standout conference long and triple jumper and 400-meter relay team member for North Dakota as well. In 1987, he was the conference long jump and triple jump runner-up and was a member of the championship 400-meter relay team. His greatest athletic success was yet to come, even though the road began with his inauspicious draft by the Denver Broncos as the 334th pick, before Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick. Why? Because he was 5'11", 185 pounds with average speed for a cornerback. Teammates gave him the nickname Chicken because of his scrawny legs. Tyrone persevered, however, in the face of adversity. During his injury-plagued rookie season in the NFL, he only played in 2 games on special teams. He had a breakout season in year 3 as the starting left cornerback. On the very first pass play of his initial start, he made an interception and ran it back 34 yards for a touchdown. A distinguished career had begun. During his 13 years in the NFL, 12 with the Denver Broncos and 1 with the Miami Dolphins, Braxton played on 4 AFC championship teams and 2 Super Bowl championship teams. During Super Bowl 32, he recorded a key interception of Brett Favre to help the Broncos win the game. As a safety and cornerback, he had 748 tackles, 36 interceptions, and 10 fumble recoveries, and was selected to the Pro Bowl in 1996 when he was tied for the most interceptions in the league with 9. Transitioning from a professional athletic career can be difficult, and Tyrone found that out when he retired in 1999. He struggled with what he was going to do with his life and with personal demons until the Denver legal system and some tough love from his family, wife Elizabeth and children Chloe and TJ, helped guide him once again back to the right path. Braxton thought, I had to reflect and look into myself to figure out who I was. What kind of legacy would I leave? He remembered a letter he wrote to his mother as a college freshman, promising her to finish his degree. So Tyrone went back to school, to an environment scarier than any Super Bowl. Braxton finished his degree with the help of online courses, and in 2014 earned a Master's of Social Work from Metropolitan State University in Denver. Today, Tyrone is a case manager for the Mental Health Center in Denver, working with an innovative program, Recovery Court, which is designed to help some of the most troubled offenders to reduce their rearrests, drug use, and possible return to jail. He's an active member and board of director of the Bronco Alumni Association, which involves the team and its former members in community charitable activities. Tyrone views his induction as a tremendous honor and privilege. His induction reiterates for him the importance of setting goals and working hard to achieve those goals. In his case, he has achieved much more than he ever dreamed of. The Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club and Strand Associates Incorporated are honored to welcome Tyrone Scott Braxton into the class of 2016.
Please welcome into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame, Tyrone Braxton. Just a quick story. During the video, Tyrone was apologizing for intercepting Brett Favre in the Super Bowl. So thank you. It took all these years, but you finally apologized. Thank you. Our next inductee, Karen O'Malley Crowley.
Sport is a major component of the O'Malley's family DNA. Karen's parents, Donald and Sally, and her 7 older siblings' lives revolved around playing whatever sports were in season, attending each other's competitions, critiquing one another's performance, and discussing the strategies of the sport. So even though her birth on June 6, 1967 was pre-Title IX, Karen was destined to become an athlete in the Purgolder Nation. As a youth, she attended all her brothers and sisters' games, wanting to be like them. Any sport that the neighborhood boys played was the sport that Karen played. Brothers Mike and Pat took her to boys-only pickup games at St. Bernard's. On a nightly basis, her brother's teammates, especially Chucky Jones, and opponents, all older than Karen, challenged her to be the best. O'Malley believes that these experiences promoted her defensive toughness and helped her play in college. Early on, Karen excelled in baseball, playing shortstop and pitcher, as the only girl on an East Madison Little League team and on the city recreation team, Professional Pest Control. Fondly, she remembers biking to the baseball fields with the boys and stuffing as many freeze pops into her back pockets as she could. She was a league all-star until age 16 and believed that softball was her athletic future. In 5th grade at St. Bernard's, Karen began to discover her passion for basketball. Guiding and fueling her love for the game was coaching from her first official coach, Sister Nancy, competing one-on-one in the driveway battles against Sister Peggy, and modeling herself after Sister Jackie, an all-city player. Karen would rate Peggy, who was not able to play organized sports, as the best and most competitive athlete in the O'Malley crew. O'Malley spent endless hours honing her ball handling and shooting against imaginary NBA players at the Hawthorne School playground hoops, while Dad watched through a hole in the fence during a break from work at Gardner's Bakery. He gave the mandatory parental critique later at home, which he now appreciates as pushing her to always work to improve. No matter how brutal the comments, Karen knew he was proud of her and that she was his little girl. Mom was always there too, lending her full support and offering encouragement when it was needed. Karen fully blossomed as a multi-sport athlete at Madison East under the guidance of coaches Charlie Magestro and Steve Benton. She made the varsity team in 3 sports, basketball, softball, and volleyball as a freshman, which Karen believes greatly enhanced her confidence as a teenager. Magestro, her Marquette School physical education teacher and East girls basketball coach, believed from the beginning that she would be good in anything she tried and that she could play basketball at the collegiate level. He instilled in her the 3 Ds, dedication, determination, and desire, and challenged her to dream the impossible dream. Under Benton, East counselor and basketball coach, Karen believes she flourished even more as a player and matured as a person. During her 4-year varsity career, she captained her team for 3 years and was a 3-time first-team All-Area, All-Conference, and All-City player. As a senior, Karen led her team to a 21-2 record while scoring 583 points for the season. Coaches and sportscasters named her City and Conference Player of the Year, and she achieved recognition as a first-team All-State player, adding to her previous 2 honorable mentions. Karen still holds the school record for points in a season, as well as for points in a career with 1,526. In addition to playing basketball, Karen played varsity volleyball for 3 years and varsity softball for 4 years. She captained the volleyball team in each of these years and was named to the All-City and All-Conference first team in her junior and senior years as a hitter. Karen was captain of the East varsity softball team for 3 years, was a 3-time All-Conference first team shortstop, and as a senior was the first team All-State shortstop. Sports competition at its best often makes lifelong friends, even amongst opponents. Karen's peer competitors were her slightly older West High rivals, Madison Hall of Fame inductee Sandy Botham and her teammates Susie Marlott and Beth Supinski. They all still remember and talk about a game during Karen's junior year which pitted their high-octane offenses in a game at West. Even without today's social media resources, the friends engaged in, as she recalls, a lot of smack talk on their landlines. Eastside's strategy was to stall and frustrate West. Karen can still hear Botham and Supinski yelling, "O'Malley, what the heck?" The game ended in the low 30s, with O'Malley leading her team in scoring, but her friends winning the game. During their high school careers, she and her rivals pushed each other to achieve their goal of playing collegiate basketball. Each did. Karen became a Badger and lettered 3 years as the starting point guard for the UW in the mid-1980s. As a sophomore, she led the team in steals with 56 and in assists with 108. And as a senior, Karen led the team in assists with 113 and set a team Big Ten record with 14 assists in one game against the Minnesota Gophers. On the Badger career record list, she's tied for 3rd in assists for one game with 14, 4th in assists per game with 3.8, 5th in assists in a season with 113, and tied in steals for a season with 56. In 2014, the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association recognized Karen for her high school and collegiate career by inducting her into their Hall of Fame. In 1992, Karen married her very supportive spouse, Larry Crowley, a La Follette graduate, to begin their own sports family in Dodgeville, Wisconsin. They've raised 4 multi-sport student athletes, Matt, Nick, Samantha, and Cara. And she coached the boys on the youth level and the girls on the youth and high school level. Karen lost the Crowley single-game scoring record to her son Nick, and this year to daughter Cara. She has enjoyed giving back to the game by sharing her knowledge and passion with not only her children, but also other students in town. Karen is honored to be inducted into the prestigious Madison Sports Hall of Fame. Without the support of her mother and father, her siblings, coaches, teammates, the neighborhood boys, and competitors, her sports career and this recognition would not have been possible. Karen is especially proud of East Side roots and her ties to the entire Madison community. She will always be defined by Pergolder pride. The Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club and Strand Associates Incorporated are honored to welcome Karen O'Malley Crowley into the class of 2016.
Please welcome into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame, Karen O'Malley Crowley. Our next inductee, Dennis Tiziani.
On May 9, 1943, Caesar and Elizabeth welcomed Tiz into their Ironwood, Michigan golf family. In the Upper Peninsula, the hub of competitive golf was the Gogebic Country Club, where Caesar was the teaching professional. Dennis began playing early under his father's guidance, competing on a par with older golfers and winning his first club event as a 16-year-old. In 1972, as a club and touring professional, Tiziani admitted that 80% of his golfing knowledge was still learned from his dad. Younger siblings, Larry and Mary, became accomplished players as well, with Caesar as their teacher. But Dennis wasn't just focused on golf. As a St. Ambrose Rambler, he was awarded 3 varsity basketball letters. After his senior season, the Porcupine Mountain Conference coaches made him a first-team selection, and he was named to the Upper Peninsula Class D All-Star team. Dennis was not just an athlete, however, as he was president of the student council. He did original oratory on the forensics team and acted in the comedy New Fires. Tiz returned to his alma mater 4 years later to become athletic director, to coach baseball, basketball, golf, and track, and to teach business courses. After high school, Dennis continued school at Wisconsin's Northland College. He was an exceptional athlete in both basketball and golf. As the team's #1 golfer and most valuable player both years, Dennis finished 41st in the NAIA National Tournament. At the time, the media recognized him as one of the, quote, best young golfers in the northern states area, unquote. In 1997, Northland inducted Tiziani into its Hall of Fame. For the past 49 years, golf and family have been his focus points. According to Rob Schultz, Capital Times sports reporter, when it comes to anything connected with golf, there is nobody in this state who wields more influence and power and commands more respect than Dennis Tiziani. He is a businessman, teacher, coach, and advisor, as well as a fine player. Gene Haas, former executive director of the Wisconsin State Golf Association, stated, "The guy is golf in this state. He lives golf, breathes golf, and may be as deeply involved in golf as anybody I've ever known." After a short career as a high school teacher and coach, Tiziani became a professional golfer. He first assisted his father at Gogebic before being hired as the head professional at Eagle Bluff Country Club in Hurley, Wisconsin. About the same time, as an excellent player, he felt the need to answer the call of the PGA Tour. The strain of the tour's demands and the desire to spend more time with his family, wife Bobby, and children Gina, Mario, and Nikki, led to his becoming the club professional at Cherokee Country Club in 1972. In Madison, Dennis could now be intimately involved in what he calls the 2 games of golf, the playing of golf and the business of golf. He would still be able to play competitively, but the business and teaching of golf would now become a crucial priority in his life. In a variety of capacities, Tiziani has been an instrumental figure at Cherokee Golf for the past 44 years. For more than 3 decades, Tiz's talent and tireless drive and ambition consistently made him one of Wisconsin's premier players. He won the State Open in 1976 and has been the runner-up in that event 5 times. A 2-time winner of state match play and 3-time winner of state medal play, Dennis was named Player of the Year 4 times by the Wisconsin PGA. As recent as 2007, he was runner-up in state senior stroke play. His Price Waterhouse accounting experience has been very useful in helping Tiziani become very successful at the business of golf. As Vice President and Director of Golf, Cherokee Country Club and Estates has flourished. John Fox, his former boss, said that Dennis has been an excellent financial man who has been an asset to the entire Cherokee development. When Fred Haberman, chairman of the UW Athletic Board, hired Dennis as the men's golf coach in 1977, the reason for selecting him was that he was both an outstanding player and teacher. Sports reporter Glenn Miller wrote that it was not widely known that Tiziani was greatly respected as a teacher, and nearly all the top golfers in Wisconsin came to him at some time for instruction. Even family members, daughters Gina and Nikki, and son Mario, and son-in-law Steve Stricker have benefited from his expertise. Tiziani brimmed with confidence when asked to coach because, as he said, "I have the confidence of the players. They know they can believe in what I teach and what I say." Besides, Cherokee was the UW's home course, and he saw some of his players all year round. In a very short time, Dennis converted the Badgers from perennial cellar dwellers in the Big Ten to one that would finish in the top 3 every year. Eventually, the men were Big Ten champions in 1993 and 94. In 1989, Dennis took over responsibility for the women's program as well, and by 1994, the team won the conference championship. He was Conference Coach of the Year 3 times, twice for men and once for women, and led the men's team to 2 NCAA tournaments and the women to 1 berth in 2003. 24 of his players were named All Big Ten, and 8 received NCAA district honors. When he retired from coaching in 2003, Pat Richter said, "Dennis Tiziani is Wisconsin golf. We are very appreciative of the tremendous contributions that Dennis has made to both our men's and women's golf teams." Golf education has always been a priority for Tiz. He has written extensively about golf, conducted numerous clinics for a variety of audiences, and participated in a weekly golf series for television. The Wisconsin PGA named him Teacher of the Year in 1989 and 1997, gave him the 1988 Bill Strasberg Award for mentoring other professionals, and the 1986 Horton Smith Award for professional education. Dennis believes that as an inductee, he can continue to give back even more to the sport of golf through outreach endeavors with the youth of Madison and Wisconsin. In 2016, under his leadership, Cherokee Country Club will become the site of First Tee of South Central Wisconsin, a learning center for youth golf. As an organization, it will partner with East and La Follette High Schools to rejuvenate their programs by providing range use and instruction free of charge to athletes. Tiziani continues to contribute to the growth of Madison and Wisconsin golf. The Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club and Strand Associates Incorporated are honored to welcome Dennis Tiziani into the class of 2016.
Please welcome into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame, Dennis Tiziani. Phil Kessel has a goal, 1-0 Pittsburgh after 2. One last round of applause for our class of 2016. Brian Posick just whispered in my ear that Phil Kessel has scored. The Penguins are up 1-0. Thank you, Brian. I want to remind you that the ceremony has been recorded and it'll be available for you to review and watch on the club's website and their Facebook page about a week from now. Peg Mueller, where are you? There she is. Peg Mueller organizes this whole thing, and she does a great job. She and her husband, Greg. Thank you very much. Peg gives everyone up here a detailed, minute-by-minute schedule of what this is supposed to be. There's a time over here that we're supposed to end. We're within 5 minutes of that. So congratulations. Thank you. Well, 5 minutes if I stop talking, I suppose, huh? Well, we want to thank you all for joining us for the 54th Annual Madison Sports Hall of Fame Banquet. Congratulations again to all of our award winners, and again, congratulations to our Hall of Fame inductees. We appreciate the support of our sponsors, and we appreciate all of you taking time out for your busy schedules to celebrate what is always a very special evening. Thanks again for coming, and good night.